I worked as a safety inspector for a regional bus line for a few years. Part of my job was occasionally riding overnight runs to make sure drivers followed all procedures, timing, safety checks, and protocols for long-distance trips. I wasn't on every run, but enough that most drivers knew me. Most nights were uneventful, boring even. That's why this one stuck. The route ran between two mid-sized cities a few hundred miles apart. Overnight. Quiet. Usually it was just the driver up front and me, passengers asleep behind us. No small talk, no music, just the hum of the engine and the road stretching ahead, headlights cutting through the black like knives. Mile markers slid by, white on green signs counting off the distance, and the occasional interstate shield appeared briefly in the glare. A few hours in, we hit the stretch of highway I always kept an eye on. Long, flat, nothing around it but darkness and open land. No exits, no streetlights, just reflective markers flashing past, bouncing off the fog that sometimes rolled in off the fields. A rusty old rest area sign flickered in the distance, broken letters glowing faintly. Then I saw it. At first it was subtle. Movement. Low, fast, just at the edge of the asphalt. My brain processed it before I could. I leaned forward and told the driver to slow. He did, glancing at the empty road with a confused look. I told myself it was nothing. Fatigue, maybe a deer. But after some times, it moved again. Same place, same quick, jerky motion. I stayed quiet this time, heart racing, staring at the dark edge of the highway, the night pressing in like a weight. A lone truck rolled past in the opposite lane, its license plate barely visible in the beams of our headlights. The driver asked if I was okay. I said I was just tired. That wasn't a lie, but it wasn't the whole truth either. The rest of the drive passed quietly. No sudden stops, no complaints. But I couldn't shake it. The feeling that the stretch of highway had something in it that hadn't let us go. We reached the terminal just before sunrise. The bus was parked for the night. Cleaning crews would handle it later. The driver left. I checked into the small motel the company used for overnight rest. Beige walls, flickering neon vacancy sign outside, cheap carpet that smelled faintly of old coffee, the faint draft making the hallway feel colder than it should have. The motel parking lot had a few rusted pickup trucks and an empty soda machine humming under a flickering light. Nothing memorable. That somehow made it worse. After washing up, I stepped onto the balcony for some fresh air. The bus sat below, alone in the lot. Movement caught my eye again. Slow, deliberate, near the bus. I leaned over trying to focus. It stopped the moment I did. I waited. Nothing. I told myself I was just seeing things. Exhaustion. Too many overnight shifts. When I went downstairs to check, the lot was empty. No one there. No reason for anything to have moved. The air was cold and still, carrying the faint smell of diesel from the bus. The bus sat there, quiet and still, like it had been waiting. I stepped closer, expecting to see something or someone, but there was nothing. Even the wind had died down, leaving the air unnervingly still. I never told the driver, never anyone. Sleep didn't come easily that night. No TV noise, no humming air conditioner, no footsteps in the hallway, just quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that presses in on you. The return trip was uneventful. No movement, no shapes, nothing. That almost scared me more, because it meant whatever had been there hadn't followed. It had stayed behind. After that, I requested a different route, different overnight stop, different stretch of highway. No questions asked, no explanations given. I still work in transportation. I still drive at night. I still get tired. But I've learned something. When you notice something that doesn't make sense, and you're the only one who does, the smartest thing isn't to figure it out. It's to leave before it gives you a reason not to.